What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to FudgeMuppet. My name is Michael, and today I've got a super juicy build for you, a very unique build done in pure FudgeMuppet style. Now, before we get into the build, however, I'd like to congratulate a friend of ours over at Camelworks Gaming for essentially doubling his subscribers from like 10,000 to 20,000 in a month. Now, he's been making guides on Easter eggs and rarities for both Fallout and Skyrim, and as the massive boost of subscribers suggests, they're bloody good. So if you want to check him out, I'll leave a link in the description. The Arcane Thane is the Skyrim build for this week, and essentially we've done what we do best. We've taken something plain like a guard and made it into something epic. Without further ado, the Arcane Thane's story goes like this. The Arcane Thane was born in the town of Whiterun in Skyrim and lived in a pretty well-off family. He had a sister and a mother and a father, and his father was a renowned guard, a good-doing soldier of Whiterun. His father was also a good strategist and would organize the defense of Whiterun against bandit skirmishes. Unfortunately, battle was still battle and the possibility of loss was still existent even with planning and preparation. The father had his last battle against a group of bandits who attacked the town dressed as barbarians. However, after they drew the guards out, they switched to their archery. The father continued to fight and managed to kill the bandits, every single one. However, in the blur of combat, he took an arrow to the knee and was forced to retire. With his good reputation and plenty of gold, he was able to move the entire family to Coral, where the father was then employed to train the local guard. Within Coral, he also had time to train his son, the Arcane Thane, in the ways of the blade. His son was also naturally proficient with magic and would read as many books on spellcasting as he could find. He did not have access to proper training facilities for his magic, however by the time he became an adult he knew how to cast very basic elemental spells. When news of the Skyrim Civil War reached Coral, the father of the Arcane Thane urged his now matured son to go on an adventure. Go see your homeland, make sure our glorious Whiterun is safe, and don't forget to have fun. The Arcane Thane said goodbye to his family and left to Skyrim, where he was caught on the border and taken to Helgen. After escaping, he will tell the Jarl of Whiterun about the dragon and continue to help Whiterun, eventually defeating Alduin to ensure its safety. The Arcane Thane wants to make his dad proud, and so he will become Thane of Whiterun. He loves learning and is a kind and honourable man. He doesn't have a merry, kill everyone attitude either. After defeating Alduin, he will help the Imperials win the Civil War. However, you can do the Civil War first if you want. He will also become a member of the College of Winterhold in his adventure of saving Skyrim, and he will learn to master destruction. After this, the Dragonborn DLC and the Dawnguard DLC can both be completed. The Arcane Thane would want to keep the citizens of Whiterun safe from vampires. The skills for the Arcane Thane are one-handed, destruction, enchanting, and light armor. The Arcane Thane will end up a master of the three elements fire, frost, and shock, and also be efficient with his sword. Enchanting will be used to put effects on the armor, and the blade will be enchanted with frost and shock to fit the whole arcane theme of the build. He may wear the armor of a guard, but he is equipped with magically charged gear and knowledge. Light armor will of course be to protect you, and we won't be using smithing, so fortify light armor and health will be a good choice of an enchantment for your armor. The gear we're using includes glass gauntlets, boots, and the helmet and the Whiterun guard armor, of course, as you can see. Also note that you can use Lydia, your housecarl, as a companion, and of course this will fit in nicely with the role-playing. If you want to know what perks to get, we have a link available just for you in the description, which shows you everything you need to know. In terms of a playstyle, preparation through enchanting is crucial to the build. Also note that Magicka-based enchantments are going to prioritize Magicka over Magicka regen, because after you run out of Magicka, you still have your sword. On your helmet, you're going to have Fortify Magicka and Fortify Destruction. The gauntlets will have Fortify One-Handed and Fortify Magicka, and the boots will have Fortify One-Handed and increase shock resistance. Shock resistance is of course helpful against mages who will always be trying to drain your Magicka. Your ring will have Fortify One-Handed and Magicka, and the necklace Fortify Destruction and Health. Your main armor piece, the Whiterun guard armor, will fortify health and light armor. When entering battle, the Arcane Thane will dual cast Frost Cloak to get the longest duration, and this will not only damage opponents but also drain their stamina, which is very helpful against melee enemies. You will then switch to your sword and an Elemental Expert Destruction spell, and staying at a range, you will use Destruction as your companion Lydia runs in with her sword. If Lydia draws her bow, then you should still use your ranged attacks first. These elemental spells of course fit different uses. For example, fire will be used against frost creatures, shock against mages, and frost against melee characters. Of course, you should thrust your sword into your enemies when they come close, or even if you're just feeling particularly offensive. The stat spread for the Arcane Thane is 60% magicka, 30% health, and 10% stamina. The small amount of stamina will help you get that extra power attack in, and also let you sprint around without feeling slow and unfit. The 30% health will help you stay alive, and while it may not seem like much, the enchantments you place on your gear will have you covered. Finally, 60% magicka will allow for a very comfortable amount of spellcasting in battle, alongside your blade slashing to ensure you can shock, burn, and freeze those in your way. After you've become a master of destruction, it will also allow you to use your master spells, which of course will drain a lot of your magicka, but also be very deadly if you're forced to use such power. For our standing stone, the Arcane Thane will be using the Lord Stone for an additional 50 points of armor rating, 25% increased resistance to magicka, and to fit in with the theme of being a Thane. This character should also have the Whiterun House Breeze Home. And that finishes up this week's sensational Skyrim build, the Arcane Thane. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to see more content like this as well as Fallout builds and gaming discussion, be sure to subscribe. I'd also like to say thank you to everyone who watched our Elder Scrolls 6 High Rock video, and if you want to vote for our next location for a discussion, head to our Facebook page. The link will be in the description with our other social media pages and the link to the build perks, and your voting options are between Morrowind and Cyrodiil. My name is Michael, we really appreciate all your support and when you share videos like this, so please do, and I'll see you tomorrow with some Oblivion.